Hello and welcome to FARRELL Rugby on FARRELL Sport. And some breaking news: Owen Farrell has had his red card overturned. Yes, you heard that correctly. The news of the weekend, the controversy of the weekend, and it's all boiled into absolutely nothing. It is the strangest news to actually listen here. We'll see now. I think I would have actually picked. I cannot understand the decision. Cannot understand how this has happened, but it has happened. Before we sort of go through exactly what has happened and the build up and then the actual sanction on Owen Farrell, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so in case you missed it, Owen Farrell was yellow carded on the weekend for a tackle on Tane Basham, a no arms tackle, and pretty high direct shot head contact. And thanks to the new sort of the TMO bunker type thing, basically what happens is the player is yellow carded for foul play, and the TMO then has 5 minutes to decide whether it is worthy of an upgrade to a red card. And if it's not, then you'll come on after it's yellow. If it is, then he gets red carded and he disappears down the field, which is exactly what happened. So they looked at it, they re-looked at it, and then they decided that it was worthy of a red card, and he went down the tunnel. It does then count as a straight red card. And so he had his hearing today. Now, the big sort of news, I mean, I don't think anyone was really predicting that it would be overturned. Everyone was sort of sitting there saying, well, what's the suspension going to be? That was kind of the only thing people were talking about. And, I'm reading it, one of the blogs here, and they were just talking about, where the build up, what's likely in terms of the ban. So he said that, they said that the likely starting point for the ban is about 6 weeks. If he did get, he would be ruled out of the remaining of the two England games, as well as the entire group stage of the World Cup. Usually, those 6-week bans are reduced to 4 weeks. If they've got a good player, a good track record, if they've got a good previous record, and often or down to 3 weeks, and then often reduced by a further week if the player agrees to attend the World Rugby Tackling School. Now, Owen Farrell has previously been red carded and has already attended tackle school, which you cannot do again. Which means that he didn't really have the mitigation. He served a 2-week ban in 2016 following a high tackle on Dan Robson. It was followed by 5 weeks out, where he then tackled Charlie Atkinson in the 2020. He had a 3-week suspension earlier this year for a high tackle on Gloucester's Jack Clement during a premiership match. And so he's had 3 bans now. He's had a total of, I think, of about 10, almost 10 weeks worth of bans. 3 weeks, 5 weeks, and 2 weeks. So he's had 10 weeks worth of bans in his career so far, going into this year. So for me, first of all, that sort of shows you that there's a record here. There's a pattern. There's a tendency. There's history here. From that, this is the full statement. I'm going to read you the full statement. So it said that England fly half Owen Farrell appeared before an independent judicial committee via video link, having received a red card for an act of foul play contrary to law 9.13. A player must not tackle an opponent early, late, or dangerously. Dangerous tackling includes, but is not limited to, tackling or attempt to tackle an opponent above the line of the shoulders, even if the tackle starts below the line of the shoulders. In the Summer Nation Series match between England and Wales on Saturday the 12th of August. The independent judicial committee, consisting of Adam Castleton, the chair, John Langford, and David Croft, all from Australia, thanks Australians, heard the case considering all the available evidence and submissions from the player and his representative. The player acknowledged that whilst he had committed an act of foul play, he denied that the act was worthy of a red card. After reviewing all the evidence, questioning the player in detail, and hearing submissions from the player's representative, who must have been absolutely brilliant, the committee concluded that the foul play review officer was wrong on the balanced probabilities to upgrade the yellow card issued to the player to a red card. The committee determined when applying the World Rugby's head contact process that mitigation should be applied to a high degree of danger found by the foul play review officer. The committee found that a late change in dynamics due to England number 2's interaction in the contact, minimal if you ask me, brought about a sudden and significant change in direction from the ball carrier. He was high. He was always high. There was no arm. It was never going to be a legal tackle. I don't understand this. In the committee's opinion, this mitigation was sufficient to bring the player's act of foul play below the red card threshold. I mean, for me, that's an absolute joke. Tane Basham, by the way, might not be available this weekend. They're still waiting to see. The committee believes it is important to record that no criticism is made of the foul play review officer. No, because imagine that. Imagine ever criticizing, any sort of referee stuff like that after basically saying that they don't agree with the decision. And that there should be no criticism made of them. Unlike the foul play review officer, the committee had the luxury of time to deliberate. No, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. It's bullshit, that whole concept there. Consider in private the incident. The foul play review officer had more time than anyone's ever had. He had 5 to 6 minutes to look at angles. You're looking at a 3-second incident. How many times can you watch a 3-second incident in 5 minutes? A lot of times. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever that they should be getting that wrong. It's why they've created this sort of TMO bunker. The committee believes that this is in contrast to the foul play review officer who was required to make a decision in a matter of minutes. Bullshit. Without the benefit of all the additional material, including hearing from the player's legal representative. Yada, 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 yada. What does it matter what he says? Even that, I don't understand. I do not understand what you could say after an incident that makes any difference. I mean, and that you've got a legal representative. What has it got to do? You've seen the incident. You're not judging the person on who he is. You're not listening to why he did it. You're looking at the facts and the facts of the video. You're looking and then saying, right, there's a high tackle. Why was it a high tackle? Was it because somebody slipped? Was it because of other factors? And you can see the factors. You can't. The player's can't sit there and tell you, oh, this is why. These are the factors that affected it. Why? You can see exactly all the evidence there. So why they even get submissions, I do not understand. So for me, it's an absolute ludicrous decision. Not that I'm not sitting there saying, oh, you should ban and shouldn't play again. But at the end of the day, he was a poor tackle, and he should get a sanction for it. He's a repeat offender. He is a repeat offender. He's fundamentally flawed with his technique, and he's gotten away with this completely. It's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. He is free to play, so you can play this weekend. And we'll wait and see if he does. I'll see you guys next time.